weird. Like, I don't get angry. I don't know what that, like, that's so strange. Like, I don't ever feel angry, how disconnected I was. And then I remember reading a book not long after I discovered human design that I think it's called The Great Pain Deception. And it spoke about the undercurrent of rage that people often have. And it was talking about sort of perfectionistic types or like type A people and how they have this like undercurrent of rage that like they aren't able to do the things that they want to do. The world isn't doing things that they want the world to do. And just this undercurrent of rage that's there. And I was like, that I can relate to, because I'm not really a snappy person. I think I definitely do get angry, and I definitely had done a lot of work on learning how to express anger and feel anger. I'm far more comfortable with like just sadness and emotions than I am with anger. But it was a process. And I think like one of the things that drew me to that book was because at the time I had a lot of health issues coming out of my marriage. Well, I mean, they went away all basically immediately when I left my marriage, but I was having massive allergy problems. I had really, really bad stomach issues. I had neck issues. I had like kidney problems. I had lots of different issues. And I think it was really me just repressing the anger I felt for the situation I was in and feeling trapped and feeling angry at my husband, feeling angry at myself for making the decisions I made. But I didn't know how to express that. And I didn't really feel like there was a point to expressing it because I had the perspective at the time that I had like made my bed, so I have to lay in it. Instead of, feeling empowered to do something, which also like all that gate 10 energy of like being a victim and like nothing I do makes a difference. So yeah, it's been a process. I think it's interesting. And I think one of the best things that we can do is to understand how to feel the anger and how to process it. And one of my favorite things, I haven't done it for a while. I haven't really felt like I've needed to. But I really like the concept of rage journaling, where I think it can be helpful, especially at the beginning of the process, or if you have a suspicion that perhaps you have a lot of anger that's there that you're not expressing, to just kind of like pick a topic. And like I like to type this out because I find writing is a bit too slow and anger is like a fast emotion. And so don't worry about spelling or grammar or anything like that. Turn your Wi-Fi off to make sure you're not actually going to send it to someone, and just, just rage. And I find it really helpful. And like, when you think you're done, be like, what else? And then when you think you're done, like, what else? And just get it out. And it's going to take maybe 20 minutes, and then something will shift and you're just like, oh, okay. Like, you can just feel like it's gone. Like the energy has done its thing. It's been felt. I'm also, like I said, a huge fan of screaming into pillows if there's anger, or, having like a thrashing temper tantrum on your bed, or just like pounding pillows or something like that, dancing, shaking it out. Like, I'm a big fan of moving the energy. But I also think I live a very unique life in the sense that I don't have a lot of triggers for anger in my life. In my last relationship, one of the things, so like after I got divorced, I was with someone for about 5 years. And what would make me like really angry there was just the interruption, which is such a manifestor thing, And I remember needing to have a conversation with him at some point. And it's so silly because like I would be, we'd both be at home working during the day, and he would text me like, "Hi, love." And it was just like instant rage, because it's like, what do you want? Like, why are you like, it's not even why are you interrupting me, but now I have to stop. So like the way I feel like it is that like, I'm a high speed train. You've messaged me this because evidently there's something you need to tell me or talk to me about, but I don't know what it is yet. So now I have to like pull the emergency brake and slam to a stop and be like, "Hi, what do you want?" And then it's like, "Oh, well, I was just wondering, like, how's your day going?" I'm like, "What do you want? My day's fine. Like, why are you interrupting me?" I wouldn't communicate that way. I would be a little bit more pleasant about it, but that's how I felt at the time. And, "Oh, I was just wondering about, what do you want to do for dinner tonight?" Or, "I'm having difficulty with this email and I was wondering if you could proofread it." It would be something like that. And so after this happened again and again and again, I was like, we need to have a conversation, because when you interrupt me, I need you to tell me in the entirety why you're interrupting me. Because if it's actually important and like urgent, or like time sensitive, let's say, fine, no problem. Like I'm a reasonable person. If it's like, hey, like I really need help with this thing, do you have 5 minutes? Cool, no problem. But the whole stopping and then having to wait for you to reply and then having to like, oh my god, it would literally, the rage that it would fill me with because of the interruption. And I'm like, you need to tell me, hi, what are we doing for dinner tonight? Because that's just not that important, so I can like finish what I'm doing, and then when I have a natural break I can get back to you. But it's like, anyway, so that was just like one of those like funny scenarios where it's like it really drives me crazy.